from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. It's the Missouri Tigers versus the Oklahoma Sooners. The Lloyd Noble Center here in Norman, Oklahoma, on the campus of the University of Oklahoma. Kevin Slayton along with Gary Thompson just underway. Oklahoma, you see, has a 1-point lead with 18:20 remaining in the first half. We're watching the Kansas-Oklahoma State game. Could join us. And Ricky Grace runs it down for Oklahoma. He hit a three-pointer to start the game. That was a bucket, and he has 5 to lead, making his first start in some time.
Norm Stewart may be a little superstitious. I think the last start that Sutton had was against Oklahoma in Columbia, and they won that ball game. So superstition may have been the rule.
Back on January 10th in a game that we brought you here over the Raycom Network.
Sooners have opened up with outside shooting, as you mentioned. They've really been threading it. Grace a couple, McAllister.
Big 8 player of the week, and he's picking up right where he left off. Here's Bunton in the lane, has to shoot over Watson, and does perfectly. So Bunton with 4 points, and he's hit his first 2, and he remains hot. He was 15 of 20 over the last 2 games.
In the Iowa State game, and found himself over the last 3 games, really, where his offense has come back.
And Grace has the game's first turnover, and it will benefit Missouri. They trail by a bucket. You see Norm Stewart in his golf shirt today. He says it's just too hot in here, and by the time he got through halfway through the first half, he'd have his jacket off and his tie loose anyway.
Well, the temperature's outside close to 60 degrees today. Sun's out shining, so fatigue, we may watch for that in this game if the heat in here gets their game, and Grace 3.1. So you got to keep those guards off the board.
Sutton hands the ball to McAllister after Hardy got away with a walk. Now Hardy steals it at the other end.
The number 1 steal guy in the Big 8, McAllister steals it. The number 2 guy, Hardy, steals it back.
And Bunton has it blocked. There's McAllister at the other end, and he makes the count.
Good look down court by the Sooners. Got McAllister on the break and an easy basket. The advantage he can get.
Bunton with the turnaround can't hit it, and it'll belong to Oklahoma. I told Norm before the game, I said, you've been coaching since Hitler was a corporal. The Sooner coach in his 7th year here in Norman. Look at Grace go to the hoop, and the
well, the penetration by Grace forced the defense.
He's on television today. He's got it on the cheek where you can see it. Here he is down low where he's almost unstoppable, but he misses, and Kennedy is there to clear it away.
Third and in the championship race. Oklahoma trying to stay tied with Kansas, which won over Oklahoma State earlier.
And there is Sandbody. He's perfect. And if you've been following Missouri basketball, you know that Norm Stewart has been after that couple of weeks. He's starting to take the coach's advice.
Well, he is a good high school shooter, too, but he has the theory that, well, getting to Chivas isn't a bad play and sacrifices himself.
Kennedy tried to jam it. Sutton blocked it, but Kennedy got the roll.
One of them into the post was the long pass, and Chivas did a great job of holding his position and keeping his man from coming around and getting the basketball.
He shoots it over Grant, and that's his first bucket of the game for Chivas, who averages 25 points a game and leads the Big 8. You saw Sutton come back into the Missouri lineup, and he replaces in there down low Nathan Bunton.
Actually in scoring also.
Kennedy with Sandbody all over him. Kennedy now has 6. And that's as many as he had the entire game against Missouri the first time around. Lynn Hardy's an interesting story. Over the last 2 games he played on the weekend, Chivas in heavy traffic and draws the foul. Going back to Hardy, the last 2 games on a weekend day, he's totaled 6 points. In his midweek game,
last 30 free throws right now. And there's an interesting stat. You're looking most in the country.
Going to take the shot on the baseline. Oh, it won't fall for him. Nearly tipped in by Sutton. The scramble. Sutton, look what I found. He passes off. And Church hits it. Couldn't believe Sutton passed it. He was 2 feet from the hoop.
Good job on the offensive boards for the Missouri Tigers. Good job by Sandbody pulling up, not going for the charge, and hit Missouri only 6 out of 15, 40%.
McAllister, the three-pointer. Hardy tries to keep it alive. Ricky Grace hits the deck, and Hardy somehow comes away with it. Gets it to Chivas with a 2-on-1. Chivas with a great feed, and Church cashes in.
Good job by Chivas. Unselfish there. A lot of players that take it up, the superstars, but he gets it down low, and you get a tie ball game. So you can make a case for a couple 3 players in this conference.
Great feed inside again. This time the pass came from Sandbody to Church, and Church has been an immediate impact on the game. He didn't start, but he has 6 points now.
News that the lack of recognition. Some real quality players. You notice when we go on the road, most of the games that play national television have been on the road. Big 8 teams get them at home. They beat them or play them well on the road. At Oklahoma, they have very good balance. They have scoring almost at all positions that you can look at where kids can hurt you. Good pass in again to Kennedy, and he's feeling it this afternoon. He got started right. He's looking for that shot every time.
And that's his favorite spot. He now has 8 points, and the Sooners trail Missouri by 2. Here they are low with Chivas again. He doesn't miss often from down there.
Sooners are going to have to beat that man coming from the weak side. To
8 now, and Missouri's lead is 4. Hardy nearly had the steal. You can imagine what must be going through Hardy's mind as McAllister sticks it from 3. But Hardy, you know, wants to have a good game today after that disaster he had.
This ball game, being on the road is to bounce back from the loss to Iowa State. But this club mirrors its coach pretty much. They're mentally tough, just like the guy that sits there over on the bench. Well, he's the nation's 7th winningest coach of the active coaches coaching the day. Of course, you got Tubbs on the other side, headed for a 6th.
Yeah, no question. Church just saw the opening and nobody picked him up, Gary.
Good recognition by Church. Oklahoma defense not responding.
Now Hardy dishes to Sandbody, who's open. He hits it again. He's perfect again.
Oh, he's a good shooter in high school. And like you said earlier, Sandbody needs to shoot the ball because he's really going to make him a threat and open up more inside play. Down deep, he's had a good start today.
The Tigers' lead is 5 with 7:50 remaining. So, from a surprising source in Greg Church, who has 8 points already, he's only averaging 5.
Well, in Sutton,
Oklahoma now looking to Harvey Grant a little more, and that's why. His first bucket of the day, Gary.
Well, I mean, he's within 3 of being equaled out, offense and defense. We got about 3 more defensive rebounds than offense. Oh, there's a foul by Gray.
Howard, who's not bashful at all when he gets in the game, draws the foul against Grace.
Side threat.
They could have had you and I and anybody else on that team and still won.
Well, I don't know about you and I, maybe anybody else. But
we talk about this game being important as Kennedy pulls up in the lane, and he is perfect. 10 points now, leads all scorers for the one they call Chew down here in Norman. But Missouri plays them Wednesday night. And Missouri and Oklahoma would be tied in the loss column, but Missouri would have the edge with a season sweep. Oh, Grace misses the gimme. He screams for the foul, as does Billy Tubbs. Now Hardy at the other end is perfect.
What a turnaround. Hardy getting the little 15-foot shot.
And a foul against Grant, and that is trouble. That's his 3rd for the Sooners.
Tubbs has an Achilles heel as a freshman. It's at that free throw line, only 56%.
Johnson misses, but Button fouls him from behind.
See if it does. Misses both.
He better keep those eyes open. Oh, Chivas gives it to Kennedy. Is Chivas hurt? That's the question.
Came off front. Chivas is down. Let's watch the missed free throw. Chivas walks out. Ball comes out high. He comes down. Can't see right there is where the ankle looks like buckles under. He tries to save the pass out. And
points or so behind him. And he's having a pretty productive afternoon with 5:40 remaining in the half, and Missouri owning a 3-point lead. Sandbody, great pass off the baseline to Church, who has 10 here in the first half.
They start to look to check off or go to the board, and he hits the open man. Great play.
Johnson forces it, but drills it. His first points of the day. Has to feel like this is their season today. If they don't win this one, the Big 8 race is in trouble. Now Norm Stewart furious with Sutton. That's the 2nd time he's made that pass.
Sandbody just kind of pushed him off. And Boomer Payne is saying he's talking to him too to clean it up. You can check him, but don't be knocking him out of there.
And he came in at his knees also, which is sure that nobody likes to see. This time Kennedy does well.
The flu and has not really recovered. He was off and really playing well scoring. His offense has been off the last 3 ball games. And he still, I talked to him yesterday, still hasn't recovered. Doesn't have the
get back in the game no matter how far behind they are.
Got a matchup inside Button. Johnson covering Button. And there's a grab.
Church fouled by Johnson from behind. First foul against Johnson.
I think it's a real factor in the ball game against Missouri that you keep them off the free throw line as much as possible. They're a club that goes to the free throw line more than anybody else. And the reason they do is they pound it into full court pressure.
Down at the other end, Stacey King is fouled by Bunton. That scoreboard has to be incorrect. I don't know how It's now a 3-point lead, 36-33, but it appears as though Missouri has lost a point on the scoreboard. Remember the controversy that was here when UNLV played here.
Point in his last 3 ball games.
And now they have changed it. 34. Chivas with a great spin move, again able to draw the foul by changing the ball in midair.
Well, that's exactly what I talked about, that guy.
Missouri's lead is 3 as we're just under 4 minutes remaining in the half.
You know, Oklahoma, one of the things they may have to look for going at a zone.
The Missouri lead is 4, 3:57 remaining in the half. Gary Thompson, Missouri up by 4. What a job Church has done. He did not start the game today. As we look at Billy Tubbs, in his 7th year here at Oklahoma, coached at Lamar previously.
One of the things trying to slow him down. There's Seeger, a good outside shooter.
He made sure he was behind the 3-point line. Now Leonard has it go off his hand. Leonard coming into the game.
So far, this game, Kevin, appears it hasn't had the tenseness that you expected. I expected out of this game where the crowd isn't into it much. And
well, maybe he's ignited today. Hardy nearly knocked it away, but now he's called for the foul. Maybe it was the T-shirts Missouri wore out here.
A little head fake, doesn't move Leonard very much, and then the reach in on the foul. You know, I think this would deceive a lot of people, but he's 7th in Oklahoma career rebounding and 8th in career scoring. You don't think of him as that big a factor, although he's had a lot of big games. But
Bunton back in there. Here's Sandbody along the baseline in heavy traffic. Now Bunton. Leonard with the foul. A great tip by Sandbody.
Away.
Sandbody with 8. There is a miss for Oklahoma.
That was a good catch over there by McAllister. One hand. And Bunton is down.
Comes back in for the Sooners.
Here you see McAllister at that long range. Comes off the far side. Come up, a scramble for the ball, and Bunton gets tripped right there. Whether he came down on his knee, transfers that onto his ball club.
Sandbody draws the foul. It'll be going against Watson. Sandbody, you can really tell as they've talked to us before the game, the coaching staff in Missouri saying how they've been on him to shoot more. 2 for 3 now, with his 4th coming. And he's 3 for 4 from the field and from the line, and he now has 9 points, averaging 6 a game.
Well, and Watson, a good job coming in there pounding and keeping it alive.
McAllister forces one, but knocks it down.
Coward did a great job defensively out there. For his career, he's only averaged about 12.5 points against Missouri.
And a big offensive foul coming up against Missouri and Lynn Hardy. That will give Oklahoma possession. Seeger misses, and Oklahoma has really gone cold from the free throw line. In just this type of a situation. Coward trying to lead in and does so effectively, draws the foul against McAllister. That is his 2nd, and will send Coward to the line.
Game under control. Type of game I think they'd like to play, particularly being on the road.
Well, they've done it at the free throw line so far. Oklahoma with 6 misses from the line. Stacey King misses an easy gimme. Oklahoma's missed a lot of shots in close so far.
Let's see if Missouri looks for a 2-on-1. Well, I was going to say 2 shots for 1 as you see 50 seconds on the clock.
He was perfect again. Has 2 more to do. Had to go to the bench with 3 fouls. McAllister, a nice move to get Sandbody in the air and drills a 3-pointer.
That doesn't happen that often to Sandbody. A good defensive player, but he's respecting McAllister right there because he knows.
Church's going to have to shoot. Hardy with 5 seconds. Nearly loses the ball. They may not even get a shot off. It's in the air. It does not count.
It
does not count. Church hit it, but it won't count. And Missouri's halftime lead is 5, and we'll return to Norman in a moment. 7 of 13 games in which they've enjoyed the lead at halftime.
Oklahoma, man for man.
Hardy, a 3-pointer. That won't drop for him, and there's Grant. And he nearly loses it, but a foul called against Sandbody. For Oklahoma, McAllister with 3 3-pointers leading the way, and Kennedy had 12.
Kennedy got most of those points early, too, and then was silent.
Good job defensively there by Sutton, but Harvey Grant followed up the miss by Watson.
Defense, the quickness of Oklahoma's defense, being more aggressive, forced them into playing quicker than what they want.
Chivas moves outside, but he was just inside the 3-point line. That's only his 3rd field goal today, but he has 14 points.
The guy said, we'll take that.
Here's Kennedy trying to answer, but he doesn't. Hardy keeps it alive. Grant knocks it out of bounds, and it belongs to Missouri.
outside shooting, those rebounds coming out high. Good pass.
And there's Grant, had to lay off Chivas.
Boy, that Button's a good-looking freshman. I'm telling you, he does a lot of good things, and he's good judgment.
Missouri's lead is now at 7. Here's Grant. They want to get him the ball. Working against Sutton. There's a three-point play in the making. Keep in mind he's playing with 3 fouls. And it's a three-point play for the man they call General here in Soonerland, Harvey Grant. And now Oklahoma with pressure, but Watson commits his 4th foul. The man Missouri wants bringing the ball up. From Sandbody, he doesn't do that often, and now with an interception, Grant leads it down to Grace, and he misses the gimme. Davis in traffic to Sandbody, can't hit it. So both teams miss an easy bucket, 3-on-1 Oklahoma. He missed again, and Grant tips it in.
Boy, you can have the odds right there. They could have gotten the easy layup. But Grace comes back and makes a big steal, and now the quick hands of Hardy saves another 2.
Oklahoma, that is, right after this. Favor of Coward, Oklahoma could take the lead. They have scored 7 unanswered points.
If they're missed.
Here's
Boy,
McAllister, but he throws it down.
Is that some tough shot? They're going one way, turning in midair, and shooting it up, and Oklahoma's got the lead.
If you've heard this before, Button throws a brick up.
Technical foul on
Watson.
Right.
He grabbed the rim. And the worst part of it, if you're Oklahoma, you give Derek Chivas a shot at more free throws.
Well, it could be a momentum breaker right here, that type of play. Let Missouri, if Chivas gets the free throw down, and then come back on the possession, say make a basket, and regain the lead.
Chivas forces one up. It won't go, and Grant's there to get the rebound.
In Missouri now, as I mentioned, quickening up on offense, putting the ball up a lot quicker, not having the patience. I think they're getting as good a shots as they were in the first half.
There's Grant.
Seeger up over the top, keeps it alive.
And now Sandbody, could this be against Grant? Somebody's in trouble here. Temper's beginning to flare. And that was what Missouri wanted.
They didn't get it the way we were talking about, but
down the floor.
Hardy taking that ball into a tough position right in the corner where you go to the trap.
Is this foul against Chivas? I believe it is.
Taking the ward off with his right hand, goes up. That's Kennedy that comes in there and positions up on him well. And the offensive foul is called. Watch here. Now, it's not Kennedy. That's technical. A couple, 3 opportunities to regain and take the momentum away, but they haven't been able to do it. And now Johnson gets in the act. Only 2 in the first half, I think, for Johnson. If that opens up on the backside, they'll have to look for it. They can get some easy shots.
Chivas with a big basket. 7 points for Chivas in the second half. Now Sandbody comes up with a turnover. They've got it in the hands of the man they want. And it won't fall it there. Sandbody.
Good inside position by Sandbody right there. And he pumped that fake up the defensive man up and then knocked from behind.
Johnson for Oklahoma puts them back in the lead.
We said that David Johnson, DJ, has been a Missouri Tiger killer over the years, and only 2 in that first. He's got 6 now, and it's warming up.
Has started to take shots a little bit further out than normal. Great speed, but Church misses the easy bucket.
With their point blank, just missed it.
McAllister.
This is the kind of game that favors Oklahoma. Now it's beginning.
Button turns it over again. Missouri falling apart here in the second half. Right in front of the play, could miss it like that. But here's McAllister with a three-pointer.
He can light it up from that range. A three-pointer, 6-point lead.
Lead for the Sooners is swelled to 6. Hardy can't hit. Starts with the rebound, throws one up. There's Leonard with a foul.
Big follow.
Ricky Grace three-pointer. A little short, but there's Watson for an easy one.
Failure to block out. I don't know whose responsibility that was, but nobody in front. They're covering on Watson. He just takes it right to the glass. And there's that explosive offense. They can hit you so quick and score points, so many points in such a short time.
And a turnover on the inbounds pass. And a foul will work against Missouri. It's incredible how many turnovers Missouri has made in a short span. Final 10.5 minutes, they can look at the free throw line. .23 points now in the game for McAllister. Here's Hardy in the lane for Missouri, and he hits one.
Good cut there by Hardy. And a good job of taking his time up. He relaxed as he went up for the shot.
First time, Gary, as you've been saying, that Missouri has run their half-court offense in the second half. Kennedy can't get it, but Watson, I mentioned a moment ago, Watson hasn't lost any aggressiveness despite playing with 4 fouls.
And now the Sooners getting on that offensive glass and hurting the Tigers.
Hardy with 2 in a row now, trying to shoot Missouri back into it. They trail by 5.
He's going to be able to get any time in the possession coming down from that range.
Oklahoma now trying to increase their lead. Johnson ready to put it off. Can't hit it. And Sandbody there to clear. Chivas with Sutton. Chivas won.
Oh, what a jab.
And he took it with an exclamation point on the end and drew the foul against Johnson, who says, good move, shakes his hand. What else can you say?
DJ trying to catch up with Chivas. He's got nothing on his mind but take it to the basket. He goes up. He goes for the block. Doesn't get it. And Chivas slams it home, and you see the foul being called. There's Chivas again. Another shot there. There's big DJ going up. Rides him down. Not a 2-shot or intentional foul there.
All of a sudden.
When you're in trouble, you go to your money man. You see his points today. He's been averaging 28 points a game in conference play only. He's trying to take it upon himself, and he's the kind of player that can do it.
McAllister now again.
They've got numbers, Missouri.
4 on 2, and there is Chivas. He usually hits that spot, and he hits it.
Good job. And Coward, I think a good job there off the break. He went up, it drew the defensive man, closed the other guy, and he's able to drop it off. Chivas off the board for 2. Guards are good rebounding guards, averaging both of them over 3 rebounds a game. There's another three-pointer.
McAllister has 5 3-pointers today.
The key. Oklahoma's hurting him with the offensive rebound.
Sutton in trouble, now able to get out of there. Chivas, perfect just inside the 3-point line.
The wind out of the crowd here. They're not as vocal, but that'll bring them back.
McAllister's having one of those days that you only can dream about when you're at home shooting on your garage bucket.
And he can rip you, and he's now 6 out of 9.
There goes Church, and he draws the foul against Kennedy, which will be his 3rd.
With a good pass by Sutton that time down to Church. No more did that ball hit his hands than he would get to the basket. Watch it right here. Quick pass, puts the ball on the floor as he gets the step, goes up. And Kennedy on the foul, and a chance for the 3-pointer. And Missouri, so Norm Stewart wisely getting him a little rest to go down the stretch, so he'll have those legs under him and the ability on offense.
Church completes the 3-point play, and Missouri is down 3 with 6:16 remaining. We'll come back to Norman, Oklahoma. From Harvey Grant is back in for the Sooners, playing with 4 fouls. Kennedy down low.
A great basket player, Kennedy. I made the comment earlier about Grant, one of the better defensive players for Oklahoma inside, maybe probably their best.
Kennedy has his 4th foul. So Kennedy, Grant, and Watson all playing for Oklahoma with 4 fouls in this game. One as Oklahoma has put Missouri in the bonus, and he misses. Big miss there.
Turnaround.
And they can't afford to get too much further behind Oklahoma here at home.
Gone over the last 61 games. Ooh, better be fouling Grace.
And for Grace, that's his 3rd. And every foul sends Missouri to the line. Chivas comes back into the game for the Tigers, replacing Church.
Well, this ball game for Missouri, I think coming after that tough loss to Iowa State on Wednesday, and then coming back here on the road, was Chivas that time, laying off Kennedy, going to give him the outside shot, trying to throw
against Missouri. That was a key call, because if it worked against Grant, he was out of the game. That left foot was still not to the ground. Oh, a lob on the inbound, and Grant makes Missouri pay.
I mean, Grant has been a key factor here in the second half, too. He ran the first 7, as you remember, talked about Grant. He's 4 out of 6 here in the second half from the field.
Here goes Coward. He drove the lane nicely, but then threw up a brick. Oh, look at this. It throws in for Sutton. Look what I found.
Well, Button kept that ball alive over the top, got a hand on it, and kept it. Wait, Johnson was looking inside. They tried to Grant to steal off. They're going to him. Lose it out of bounds.
Loses the ball with 3:25 remaining. Missouri could make it a 1-point game when we return to the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. We didn't see him now. He pops it up. 3, and it won't go. And Johnson nearly lost it, and Missouri does have it. Then Hardy got his hand on it and knocked it off Johnson.
That that's why Norm wanted that timeout to get something set up, recognizing the change in defense.
Sutton nearly lost the ball. Stevens has it, but they're double teaming him. Hardy from 3 points. Hits it.
Got a tie ball game.
What a big bucket by Lynn Hardy. Here's Grant. He's out of his range. Now Kennedy has it where he wants it. And Stevens blocks it, but he's going to be called for a push before the shot. That's where it would come from, but look at Grace fired up. Look at Grant over Button.
Big rebound. He's been a key player in the second half. There's another one of the key players.
And McAllister hits it. You could just feel it when he got the ball.
Well, hit clock they run here.
Sutton takes the shot, and he doesn't hit it. That is interesting.
I was surprised at that shot from that range by Sutton.
Oklahoma could pretty much foul against Stevens.
Oklahoma. You put Kennedy on the line, and it works out, maybe. Yep.
Well, it almost went in, though. The free throws have been the Achilles heel for Oklahoma today.
Well, we've got no shot clock now for the rest of the time.
Dashed on this shot by McAllister.
Well, you see the pick down inside for McAllister. He's got 7 3-pointers, 4 for 4 in the second half. And again, I say, he is one of the best shooters when he gets squared up the way he was right there, right at the basket.
Missouri calling timeout with 6 seconds. Jim Bain, the official, signaled it with 5. The clock had to run down to 4. They have reset it. That graphic incorrect. There are 5 seconds remaining in this game, and Missouri must get a 3-point play out of it, or they'll lose the game.
That's right.
Missouri's hopes of the Big 8 title. Down 3 with 5 seconds remaining. Missouri appears to be a little bit confused. Five seconds, Gary, is not a whole lot of time to get it down there and get a good shot.
No, but yet for Oklahoma, it's going to be an eternity. I'll tell you that for 5 seconds. They're throwing long. They got him.
He nearly hit it, but didn't. With 1 second remaining, he had more time than he thought he had, and could have moved it up a little further. Now the gun sounds, and Oklahoma has won the ball game 81-78. Our 4th player of the game is Tim McAllister of Oklahoma, who finished with 34 points today. He's our 4th player of the game. Next Saturday at 1 o'clock, it'll be Missouri at Oklahoma State or Kansas State at Nebraska. At 3 o'clock, it'll be Iowa State at Colorado or Oklahoma at Kansas. Again, our 4th player of the game today is Oklahoma's Tim McAllister, who finishes with 34 points, but none of those were more important than his final 3-point shot from the corner with 5 seconds remaining. He gives them the victory here, as he did against Kansas earlier in the year when he hit one to defeat the Jayhawks by 2 here in Norman. So for Missouri, they fall 2 games behind in the Big 8 Conference. Once again, our games for next week at 1 o'clock, Missouri and Oklahoma State, or Kansas State and Nebraska. At 3 o'clock, Oklahoma battles Kansas or Iowa State against Colorado. This has been a copyrighted presentation of the Raycom Sports Network. For Gary Thompson, I'm Kevin Slayton. So long from Norman, Oklahoma, where the Sooners win by 3.